To start, press any key. Where's the any key? I see Esk, Catarl, and Pigup.
There it is. Gamblers, find your designated table and let's play some poker.
May I deal you in?
What can I get for 17 bucks?
What are you talking about, Willis?
Kid's got alligator blood. Can't get rid of him.
Must be a piece of a hand.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it all depends on the the texture of the board. If there's straight out, flush out, you can be up against a set.
With the low limits, people play, reasonably well.
The way to really test your hands is all in.
Every hand. But the games are just nutty. Like 5 bets every street.
Motherfucker! You fool your nuts! Motherfucker! That is it!
That's it. What the fuck are you talking about? That's it. Take it down, man.
Yes! No more! No! Not tonight!
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
If you guys play poker, what would you rather play in?
Low limit poker.
I don't even like playing blackjack with $1 minimums.
You gotta get on those $5 tables at like 10 in the morning. Those are fun.
I don't know, for me, buffet mashed potatoes or buffet mashed potatoes.
You gotta put ranch powder on them.
Mashed potatoes are all about butter.
With a really good gravy or garlic mashed potatoes for me. Or even truffle mashed potatoes. Now that's the nuts right there.
And welcome back to Low Limit Poker Radio, episode number 8. With me as always, Bootsy. How you been, man?
Not too bad, yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll just go with yeah. I mean, last night was kind of a wild night. Should have walked away with $200, ended up walking out minus 20. But hey, that's why they got free rolls, right?
Yeah, I was actually going to play last night, but I ended up taking a nap and not waking up until about four and a half hours later. And I decided when I woke up, fuck it.
Yeah, well, that's the typical, that's the norm,
Yep.
But, how's the weather out there in Cali?
It's pretty hot, actually. I think it's probably in the high 80s, low 90s.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to ask you, how about in Louisiana?
I'm pretty confused. I thought this was Seattle that I was in because, damn, brother, it just keeps on raining and raining and raining. But, yeah, let's kick it off. Let's get to that top 10. And guess what I found on the hard drive?
Oh, the British voice.
Oh, I brought back the sexy Brit, and here she is.
Low Limit Poker Radio presents the top 10 stories this week.
And of course, last week we kind of didn't do a top 10. This is our staple. So, let's crack off this top 10. One of the top 10, Daniel Negreanu cracking the top 20/top 10 on the GPI. I know this was blasted over Twitter, but Bootsy, what's your take on this?
I guess he has to crack the top 20 or top 10 in the GPI and make some money. People, a lot of poker players bet on themselves, but I don't know why he decided to do that GPI. I'll probably do Bluff Magazine or the Card Player Magazine top 10 or top 20. I mean, who gives a shit about the GPI anymore?
Yeah, I mean, that was the one thing that kind of baffled me of why do you want to be on the top 10 or 20 of the GPI? I mean, yeah, I know he's 31st right now, but seriously, I'd rather be Card Player or Bluff in a heartbeat.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he hasn't been playing that well either, so I don't know why I decided to make that bet. The World Series of Poker is over. I mean, when's the deadline that has to crack the top 20 or top 10?
I think he said by the next WSOP.
Okay, not at the end of the year?
No.
That'd be kind of stupid.
Yeah, I mean, if that was that case, he'd probably be playing in every circuit event that we had out here, and boy, that would be really bad for us circuit grinders.
Oh, like I say, he's not been playing that well in tournaments for the past couple years.
Yeah. Another good story that we have here. The NFL refs. I know Goodell took the refs and hired scabs. Now, the scabs led what for the first 3 weeks? Am I right?
They didn't lead. They fucked it up.
Oh, come on. I'm a Bears fan, so every time I see a Packers loss, I'm very, very delighted in it, especially when it cost, roughly $2.5 billion is what they projected, just on betting alone.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you've heard the stories about the Caesars sportsbook almost having riots, and it's just terrible.
Oh, yeah. And, you're going to have that, especially when it comes down to scabs running the show. So I know, what was it, earlier this week, I think it was like Wednesday, they've officially announced that the full-time refs are coming back. And I don't know if you watch a lot of ESPN. I know it's kind of a staple at my household, but just watching all the commentary on ref this, ref that, ref this, ref that. Did you actually watch any NFL games this weekend?
Actually, I have not. Not this weekend. I watched a little bit of the Cleveland-Baltimore game, but I've been busy today, so I didn't have a chance to watch anything. Plus, the Steelers are on a bye, so...
Yeah, and I mean, you're going to have that. I didn't watch one damn game. And to be honest with you, I don't feel like I missed anything, to be honest with you. I think the NFL's gone to shit. Fuck them.
Well, I mean, I'm more into college football because I'm a season ticket holder for the USC Trojans, so Saturdays are really when I really watch my football.
Yeah, and I got no shame in the game. I'd rather watch a little bit of college ball anyway, and that's actually in our top 10. One of the college ball games.
Yeah, do you want to segue into that?
Yeah, let's segue into that. I don't know if anybody watched the West Virginia Baylor game, but I know the final was 70 to 63. Basically a shootout. I know that good saying that defenses win championships, but come on. 70 to 63? That looks like a damn basketball game score.
Yeah, I mean, West Virginia and Baylor have had quality basketball teams recently, so figured why not put the basketball players out and play some football. Get them ready for the college basketball season.
I mean, I watched that game for a little bit, and then I was just baffled. It was like watching a train wreck. I watched cover 1 and cover 2 just fail on both sides of the house. And, it's no wonder why RG3 got the Heisman. I mean, if you look at that team, it's set up for, let me just throw the ball, throw the ball, throw the ball, throw the ball, throw the ball.
Yeah, Baylor's been notorious for doing that. West Virginia's notorious for a lot of their wildcat offenses and other trickery. So it was not a surprise that that game went high digits. Obviously, I'd bet on the over during the game. Hopefully, China made that pick earlier.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of going to be an obvious pick. I mean, both sides don't really have a defense, but West Virginia just switched conferences. I think they were, Big East, and now they're Big 12?
Yeah, they're the Big East, and now they're Big 12. That's correct.
Yeah, they're going to get eaten alive in the Big 12. Mark my words.
Yeah, when you have to play teams like Texas, Nebraska, teams who actually have a defense. But you never know. I mean, a good offense could overcome a good defense pretty much a lot of the time. So I think that West Virginia will still be up there in the rankings. Maybe a 1-loss, 2-loss team.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? But I don't think they're going to make national championship. But, I've been known to eat my own words, so I'll just keep that out of my repertoire for right now. I'll just make my predictions in about 2 or 3 weeks. But this kind of segments into bounty scandals. I mean, we're all familiar with the Saints bounty scandals, correct?
That's correct.
Now, you told me a juicy tidbit about there's a Pop Warner scandal?
Yeah, over here in Tustin, which is pretty much 15 minutes away from where I live. I have to drive through it on my way to work every day. It's a league with 10, 11-year-olds, and they've been investigating a bounty scandal where if one kid knocks another kid out of the game, they'll win $50. And I mean, that's just a shame. I mean, what are we teaching our kids these days?
$50. I mean, I was thinking maybe if you gave them an ice cream sandwich or something, but $50, come on, man, that's awful steep.
I mean, I know that the kids like playing their PS3s and their Xboxes, and one of those gets a game. But it's just, I've been to one Pop Warner game in the past couple years because my friend was a coach there, and just a lot of these parents are just, you just got to scratch your head and be like, what the fuck are you thinking? I mean, I know that you've had your failed dreams of being in the NFL, but why are you driving your kids into your failure? It's just a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, but certain areas take their poker serious. I didn't put California on the map for seriousness. If you heard about this in Oklahoma or Texas, it'd be like, okay, yeah, that makes kind of sense. But California? Come on, man.
Yeah, pathetic. And luckily, the two coaches have been suspended until indefinitely. And the head of the, I don't know if it's regional or whatever, he says, oh, there's no proof of it. But I mean, come on, that's just all bullshit.
Actually, speaking about bullshit, this kind of segments into our next news story of the El Cortez. I actually read this on the Las Vegas Sun, that the El Cortez, an old casino/hotel, used to be ran by mob members, is trying to go for a National Historic Site. Why? Why would you want a shithole? Now, yeah, it's been there since the 1940s. Yeah, I can see how it could be considered historic, but it's on the shitty end of the strip, and
it's not even on the strip. It's downtown.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's downtown, but to be honest with you, do you want that as a National Historic Site?
No, if there's any casinos that should be a national site, it's probably be the Tropicana or the Flamingo, because those have withstood the test of time. And I know they've been under renovations recently, but yeah, I don't know. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I would give the Tropicana, I would give the Flamingo, 2 thumbs up. Absolutely, become a historic site. But the El Cortez.
I mean, what about even the Golden Nugget?
Yeah, I'd put the Golden Nugget before El Cortez. The first time I heard about Cortez was like when somebody told me about, well, there's this shithole over here in Las Vegas. I was like, oh, cool. What's it called? El Cortez. I started laughing. I was like, wow, that's hilarious. And then I see something about becoming a historic site just the other day, and I was like, no way in hell. That's like saying that the statues from Penn State should become a National Historic Site and just place somewhere else. If it's that fucked up, I say hell no. Don't approve it.
Absolutely. I don't know if any casino should be set as a historical national site.
And speaking about historic poker rooms, right? This kind of segments into our next one of the Seminole Casino down there in South Florida. Did you know that another poker room is getting 86'd down there?
I don't know if there was any poker rooms that got 86'd. What other ones in Florida that got canned?
It's just the one in Seminole.
That's just the first one?
Yep. It's the first one, but that kind of keys into the poker economy that we were talking about earlier in prior episodes of, I mean, how does that reflect upon our times?
It's rough now. I mean, I think there's probably a good 3 or 4 poker rooms in Las Vegas that could be canned. Like the Hard Rock, Treasure Island, Imperial Palace, Riviera. Every time I look under the our trusty Bravo Poker Live app, it's always like 1 or 2 games going on. And it's just been a mess recently.
Yeah, but man, poker in South Florida going down, that's like a big hit. I mean, you really got to start thinking about it and go, what's next? I know they moved the poker room, and they took all the dealers and turned them into blackjack dealers, but it was moved behind the bingo room, then next to Pai Gow, and, you know, it used to be by table games, and then they moved it to behind the slots, and then they moved it to the annex, and then they moved it to the trash can. So
now, which Seminole poker room is there? Because there's like 6 or 7 of them in Florida.
All I got on the name was the Seminole. I don't know if it was the Seminole Hard Rock, which I highly doubt, but
well, there's Seminole Hollywood, and there's the Seminole Hard Rock Hollywood. And now it looks like right now that Seminole Hollywood is dark, and the Seminole Hard Rock Hollywood has 13 games going on.
Yeah, it's Hollywood, not Hollywood Hard Rock.
Well, that's confusing.
Yeah, and you know, that's just poker economy. I mean, hell, if you can't keep a 1-2 game going, which, you know, I got another story that was kind of breaking, came from Real Chaser himself, one of our followers, that games out there in Iowa, they couldn't have a 1-2 game going because they had a tournament going at the same time.
And how many people were in the tournament?
I don't know. I'll get all the info from them a little bit later. But the thing is this what's going to happen with the poker economy? I mean, it's booming down here in Louisiana. I mean, I don't see poker ever stopping. There's tons of players, tons of Texas oil, tons of this, tons of that. So there's always a game going where I'm at. I mean, how's it over by you?
Oh, I mean, we have the Commerce Casino. We have the largest poker room in, I think, probably even the world. And right now it has 83 games going on. Let's see, we have 19 4-8 Hold'em games going on at the Commerce right now.
Oh, only 19? Yeah, okay.
Only 19.
We might have 19 going across the state. Thanks for rubbing it in, man.
Well, what can I do here? I mean, if you want to take a look at what games are going on here, just download the, if you have an iPhone or an Android, just download the Bravo Poker Live app, and you could take a look at what's going on.
Yeah, and if you don't have Bravo Live, you need to be drawn and quartered. That app actually kicks a lot of ass, and I'm glad you brought it up, Bootsy.
I've brought it up so many times, so I'm like the poster child of Bravo Poker app.
Yeah, pretty much, man. But speaking about apps, I remember something about the iPhone 5 releasing here shortly. I don't really care because I'm not an Apple guy. But do you own an iPhone? Or
I have the iPhone 4. I'm looking to upgrade to the iPhone 5, but I'm not eligible until February.
Okay, so you're not going to sit back and wait in line for 18 hours just to get an iPhone 5, right?
Well, I can't until February, but once February comes along, I'll probably go out and get it because I'm sick of just cruising on the 3G network. I want 4G.
Well, you know, I got the 4G phone. And let me tell you about 4G. It only exists in big cities.
Well, I'm in a big city. It's
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting you're right next to the biggest poker community in the world.
Yeah, and I'm in the traffic capital of the world too. So, and the earthquake capital of the world, and so there's advantages and disadvantages of living here in California.
And you can say the Democratic capital of the United States, and
not in my county. Not in my county. My county I live in is deeply Republican.
Oh, okay, but still, overall, the Democratic capital, if you will.
I would agree on that.
But my take on the new iPhone 5 is fuck it. You know what? I love Android. It works for me. I can play Angry Birds on my phone, so who cares?
Well, I have an iPad. I'm going to get a new MacBook here shortly because the one I have is dead. So I'll have everything all dialed in the near future.
Yeah, I heard they got to do with the iPhone 5. There's all kinds of new stuff. Like there's new power cords, new accessories. Nothing's compatible with the 4. yeah, I get it. It's a market, so that way you have to buy some more stuff so the company stays afloat, but, I'm not a fan.
Well, I mean, I'm not dead set on getting the iPhone 5. I might look into other options when the time comes.
Yeah. I recommend the HTC Evo 4G LTE. That's the phone I got, and it does everything that I want to do, including cartwheels, taxes, and feeds the dog. So, fuck it.
I'm hearing good things about the Samsung Galaxy S3.
Oh, yeah. The wife has that. It's a fun little phone. When you put the two of them together, they like instantly share files. It's weird.
All right.
So, I mean, that's another good phone. I like it because my wife likes it, so that's like by association, I guess.
But do you have the Chinese 13 card poker app?
No, I do not have the Chinese 13 card poker app.
And you have the best of video poker, where I could play spin poker, Ultimate X poker, etc.
I got to look at my app store, but probably I can get all those.
Well,
you just got to go look at Google Play, and it'll tell you exactly what you can get for an Android.
All right.
Speaking of apps, phones, and all that good shit, let's talk about internet poker. Another Las Vegas Sun article. A lot of companies have been applying for internet poker regulation out there in Las Vegas. I think the number is up to, 5 or 6 now, Bootsy?
I believe so. I haven't really been paying attention.
I mean, I haven't had both my eyes deep onto this topic, but here's the big thing, right? With the DOJ coming out and saying, okay, Wire Act, it's not really a offense because of this, with that post-Black Friday verdict of, poker might be a skill game. The question is, are we close? I know federally I've seen 2 different versions of a bill. A skeleton, so that way they can attach it to like a port defense bill. And then I've seen the full-fledged bill that kind of defines everything that you can do and the regulation on internet poker. But I'm still going to hold firm to internet poker is about to die for all U.S. players here shortly. I mean, what's your take on it?
Well, I can't even use my Visa anymore to fund my black chip roll, but I mean, I was never a huge online poker player, so really, I kind of agree on that.
Now, I've heard some rumors that the DOJ is moving in towards a few sites. Now, yeah, it's rumors, but think about what clients still accept U.S. players. There's we got the Merge Network, America's Card Room, and what else?
Lock.
Okay. It would make sense that if those are the last 3 taking U.S. players, wouldn't the DOJ kind of focus on those 3 companies and go hit them too?
Might as well.
Hey, get the trifecta. Who knows? I don't know if they're moving on Merge, but why not? Let's spread some wildfire rumors and say Merge is going down tomorrow. I don't care. Because guess what? I don't care. It's internet poker, Yeah, it's a great tool, but you never get the live reads. Yes, you get the aggression. Yes, you get the 3-bet, 4-bet, 5-bet ranges. You figure out poker really easily and 10 times faster than brick and mortar, but it's not that great because you don't get the live reads.
That's why I never really got into it.
I got into it pre-Black Friday, played for a few months, and then just recently on Black Chip Poker. But outside of that, who cares? It's internet poker.
Speaking of that, weren't you going to send me your Black Chip roll?
Yeah. Did it not go through?
No.
No.
I'm guessing because you had 0.0 on it?
No, I had 606 on it. I tried shooting you my roll the other day.
Well, I was going to do another Hebe run.
Yeah, I'll
from
go.
$6 to 10,000, but I think by the time I hit 10,000, that's when the DOJ is going to put their foot down, and
you're going to get paid.
I'll be that.
Yeah. Go figure, Speaking about getting paid, What do you think about Antonio Esfandiari leading the 2012 WSOP Player of the Year award?
Well, hey, he won the richest poker tournament of all time.
Now, the real question is, should that bracelet count?
I'm fine with it.
Remember, they locked people out of that tournament. It was capped at what, 48?
Mm-hmm.
There was more than 48 that wanted to get into that tournament. Now, I know dealer tournament, that doesn't count. Seniors, that doesn't count. It wasn't open. It was a closed tournament to 48 people. So should that count for points?
I don't know. I just think that the buy-in. Yeah, you have to factor in the buy-in amount, and but I see what you're saying.
I mean, I think it was. Yeah, we counted it for points when it came down to the fantasy leagues, but to be honest with you, I don't think that should have counted.
Okay.
Mainly because only 48 players got to play it. If you were number 49 in line, well, fuck you don't get to play. Well, dude, I got $1 million. Well, fuck you don't get to play. Hey, it's for a charity. Well, fuck you don't get to play. Who cares? Let the people play. I'm all about open tournaments. And if you want to spend $1 million to try to win $1.2 million as a min cash, by all means, go do it. Which, since we're talking about shooting off $1 million in a roll, I know you got a story about, what is it, the BET, Black Entertainment Television shooting?
Oh, yeah. Apparently, let me get the names. I think it's Young Deezy or something like that. Give me 1 second. Rick Ross and Young Jeezy. Apparently, they're pushing, shoving, and then apparently their posse has decided to fire guns at each other. I don't think anybody got hurt, and according to the Atlanta Police Department, there's no arrests have been made yet. But what's your take on this?
Well, breaking news story. I really don't care, but in all fairness, if pushing goes to shoving, which goes fisticuffs, which then goes to shooting, what does that tell you about this world?
That there's definitely some problems within society.
Wrong. We need more gunsmiths, and I can't wait until I get out of the Army and go back to college, because that's the degree I'm going for, gunsmithing.
All right, who's gonna be your clients?
Don't care. If you got money, I'll fix your guns. If you got money, I'll build you one. Hey, I'm easy peasy that way.
Oh, do you want to play the race card?
Hell, I could play the race card. I really want to play the race card, but when it comes down to it, if people are going to be shooting each other, hey, that's less idiots out there on the face of the planet I got to deal with. You know what I mean?
You know what I have to say about that? And since youth African Americans have been saying, "Oh, whites is keeping us down," I mean, you have to take a look at this and just do you think that gang banging and shooting at random people is gonna get you anywhere in life?
No, I don't think it gets you anywhere in life. Wow. Yeah, if you want to sit back and shoot each other up, by all means, go ahead. I don't really care. The minute you step over into a rednecks area, guess what's going to happen? You're going to have rednecks shooting at you. That's just my take on it.
Well, isn't Atlanta like a blend between both sides?
Yeah, it's kind of weird because the outskirts is redneck. The downtown, well, that's going to be downtown. But when it comes down to it completely, it's one of those fun things. It's just damned if you do, damned if you don't, and most people just don't care.
I mean, that was a Confederate state.
Yeah, it used to be. Same with this one down here. And, the older generations, they believe in one thing. The younger generations believe in another. But, hey, when it comes down to it, who's right, who's wrong? And who the hell am I to judge? If they want to go out and kill each other, by all means, go out and kill each other. It ain't going to hurt me.
All right. I see your point.
Like I said, that's one less idiot that I have to worry about. That's one less idiot that's going to be taking potential tax dollars due to Medicare, Medicaid, and all that good shit. And it's going to come down to the fact that, hey, that's positive EV.
All right.
So, I guess that kind of segments into our free roll strategy. So, yeah, that was the top 10. There's a few other stories we can talk about, and you know what? I'll just save one of them for kicking in dicks. But we were talking about idiots just a second ago. Let's can free roll for a second. Great news story. 8-year-old driver crashes into 4 cars in West Philly. Right?
An 8-year-old?
8-year-old crashes a minivan into 4 cars. And I quote, authorities say the young boy struck at least 4 parked cars. Well, I'm glad they were parked, because, if it was a moving target, that would have been a lot harder for him to crash into. And witnesses at the scene tell Action News that the van belonged to a man who was unloading furniture and the keys were left inside. That should tell you something right there.
What about that, I'm sure that kid's gonna grow up and become a senator.
Pretty much. I can almost guarantee it.
But how about the one guy who was on Sons of Anarchy, who ended up trying to who murdered his landlord, then ended up falling to his own death. Hear about that?
No, but enlighten me, because I got a great comeback for this.
All right, here, let me just find a story here. Let me get all the facts straight, or else
all right.
I might look.
Well, while you're looking for it, let me supply you with my retort. You're familiar with Poker Fraud Alert, right?
Mm-hmm.
There is a 4-part story about a near death, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which involved a moving car, a beer bottle that was a half an inch thrown out of a moving vehicle that was a half inch below a passenger window, where if it would have went through the window, it would have distracted the driver. They could have gone off the bridge into a ravine, right? Do you notice all the coulds in that statement and a near-death story?
Oh yeah, wasn't it Bottomset who did that?
I don't know. I don't really...
Yeah, it was Bottomset.
Okay.
And that guy's just the biggest idiot ever.
Yeah, you want a near-death experience story? Here's a great one. Imagine your 23rd birthday, you're driving in a soft-skin Humvee, and a bomb blows up, and you think it's funny grabbing shrapnel that's falling out of the sky because your top is open. That's a near-death experience story. Not, a beer bottle could have went through the window, and I could have drove off the road, and I could have ended up in a ravine. That's not near-death. Near-death is when bullets are whizzing at you or bombs are exploding right next to you. Sorry, but I give that epic fail. And it's my buddy, Mr. Hotshot himself, in Soviet Russia, every day is a near-death experience. And I totally agree. Thank you, Hotshot.
Well, this guy, let me go back to the bizarre double death story here. This guy named Johnny Lewis, who actually dated Katy Perry a few years ago, went up to his landlord and who I believe was elderly, shot her. I believe he was trying to climb out of the top window to escape the scene of the crime, and he fell to his death. Apparently, he was high on either PCP or meth. So...
yes, I am familiar with this story now, because once you said he was either high on PCP or meth, those are usually the stories I read and I laugh about. Because have you ever seen somebody on meth or PCP?
I believe so, yes.
Aren't they hilarious? It's like when people are whacked out on cocaine, they do that bending motion, like they want to fall, but their body physically stops them from actually falling and hitting the dirt. It's just hilarious to watch.
Well, apparently, that did not help Mr. Lewis here, who is now 6 feet under. And like you said, one less idiot of this world.
And it's not the falling out of the window that's the problem. It's that sudden stop at the end that usually gets everybody.
Yep.
And since we're talking about stupid stuff, Hotshot brings it in with another good curveball that I want to lovingly talk about. Remember that guy in Florida that was high on bath salts? That looked like a zombie that was eating people's faces.
Yeah, I didn't bother taking a look at the pictures because that would just gross me out too much.
Yeah. Everybody that believes in a zombie apocalypse had vindication on this guy until it found out he was on bath salts. You want to know what I did? I was laughing my fucking ass off so hard that I was in tears when I found out he was high on bath salts. It's just amazing what stupid can actually produce.
You just need to read any 408 Mike post, and you'll see what being high on bath salts is all about.
Yep. Won't lie with you on that one. I've seen a few of those posts, and it's just amazing.
Just this morning, some of the posts that he made were just bad.
Well, there's bad, and then there's really bad, and then there's 408 Mike. What the fuck are you babbling about now?
Yep, and he was babbling about being banned on skates, or how the hell do you pronounce that for him?
I do believe it's called skates, and this is for Sir Bob. He has a good question for us. Can you buy bath salts with Bitcoin? Probably.
Yeah, probably from Silk Road.
Yeah, Silk Road. Not that we're endorsing Bitcoins or Silk Road, but what the fuck? That's what Bitcoins are made for. Illegal drugs. And if you don't believe me, go look at the charter and the manifest. Come on.
Just go on dogdown.com. You can read all about it.
Shitcoins. Shitcoins! Alright, so let's get back to where we were going to go with the free roll strategy, right?
Yeah, that's a nice segue.
Yeah, that's a good segue. Yeah, fuck it, Bitcoins. Hey, let's go talk about free rolls. I know I posted something about part 1 is what you're actually playing a true free roll. And Bootsy, I know you've played a few free rolls. I know I have. I know our 2 audience listeners that we have, all 100% of our audience in the chat room right now has played on a few free rolls because I've seen them play these free rolls personally. What's your take on free rolls, Bootsy?
Well, it depends on which ones you're talking about, like the Tilted Limper and Poker Fraud Alert Radio free rolls.
Yeah, let's start off with those. I mean, I think those are a good, fun, positive EV. Hell, I'm listening to radio anyway, so why don't I play poker, right?
And those are the ones that I play.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, those are the most positive EV, in my opinion, because big tournaments, I know you've played a few tournaments, correct?
Like maybe when I'm really bored out of my mind and have nothing else better to do.
Okay.
Then I'd play one.
I'm not talking about a free roll tournament online. I'm talking about brick and mortar. You've played tournaments before, right?
Yes.
Well, you know the concept of dodging hand grenades, then.
No, because I know I just play my normal tournament strategy.
And I do the same thing, but there's always that one jackass, especially when it's a free roll, that he thinks his 7-2 is basically the nut hand. And, Sir Bob's bringing me back with the Hubble free rolls on stars. Yes, Sir Bob, I do know those. I was a fan of those because it got you into a $2 free roll on Sundays. I remember them. But the free rolls that are like 5K and players on Merge, that is instead of dodging a hand grenade, you gotta dodge a fucking nuclear warhead just to get to the money. Because when it's capped at 5,000, only like 25 people get paid. So it's really, really tough to get up there. So, to be honest with you, no limit hold'em, unless it's like Poker Fraud Alert or PFA, I'm not going to play those free rolls, because to be in the money, you got to go really far and dodge a lot of shit, and it usually takes about 4 to 5 hours. To be honest with you, I got better things to do than play a free roll for 4 to 5 hours. I mean, what do you think?
And the most money you're going to win is like like the top prize, I think it's like $11 plus a $33 satellite coupon.
I thought it was 14 plus 33, and the next
you're
one.
Right. You're probably right.
And the next one was like 11 plus 11, or like a 9 plus 11, or something like that. But to be honest with you, if the prize pool is worth it, do it. And I wouldn't say it's determined on your win rate or anything like that, but when does a free roll become not a free roll for you?
Well, obviously when you have to factor in gas money to get to the casino, and I know all the time they have to put into, like the hours they have to put in to earn a spot on the free roll.
Yeah, and
there's not a true free roll, because you have to pay like the house fee regardless over here. So it'll say like it'll be like a $3,000 guaranteed free roll, but you have to pay like $10, which is the service fee. It's like 0 plus 10.
Oh, yeah, and that's another way to call it a free roll, but to be honest with you, you're paying fees. So how do you determine the rake percentage if it's a 0 plus 10? Is that an infinite amount of rake?
Yep.
Kind of funny. I mean, you can sit back and you crack off all these numbers and do all the math and science behind it, but free rolls are going to be free rolls, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know I've taken down 2 of the horses, cashed in 4 of the horses. I know you won a horse, right?
Yeah, I think I won 1 or 2.
Hotshot, who's probably going to be on here in a few minutes, I know he's taken down a horse.
Yeah, he took it. Did he take down the one on Thursday? I believe he did.
Yeah, in fact, you know what? Let's get him here on Skype. Let's see what he's up to right now. I know Sir Bob kicked a horse. So,
hey guys.
Hey, what's up, Hotshot? You got
Can you
us?
hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Excellent.
So, let's talk about your epic win. What, Thursday?
Yeah. The Filthy Limper free roll took it down. Just seemed to crush horse
for 10 big whopping US dollars.
That's right. And I guess that's the second one I've won. Not on Filthy, but I won the inaugural one there on PFA.
Oh yes, that's right.
Yeah,
the no limit.
I believe that was the Ray Bitar coin as you're screening them on that.
That's right.
Ray
Bitar coin.
That's right. Ray Bitar coin. Now it's all making sense here. God, I remember Donk Down. I actually money bubbled a few of those on Hero.
I've actually won my first 2 when I first got on board on Donk Down on Hero. Just back to back. My claim to fame.
But let's get back to my buddy Hotshot here. Let's talk about a little bit of horse here, buddy. How did it feel to take down your first mixed game?
No, it was great. I mean, I've been playing mixed games online and stuff like that, so it was pretty cool. There's some good players in there, obviously. Like that's one of the things with those free rolls. You definitely get some good players like Bootsy and yourself, and the host. So
yeah,
no, it was good.
Well, that's good.
I played it pretty well, like I would play a normal tournament, and look for spots and stuff like that. So yeah, it's good.
Well, that's good, man. Yeah, I mean that's fucking basically a free roll, right? Who knows?
Absolutely.
And to be honest with you, the private ones are always going to be better than the public ones. And if you can get into a VIP, I mean, I know you kind of railed me there for a minute. You saw me fucking I played 5-5 like a boss. I really don't care. If I'm at a final table, I'm playing ace, X, or any pocket pair AIP. I really don't care. It's a free roll. Did I get labeled as a donk? I don't really give a fuck. Dude, it's a free roll. Go ahead. Be a free roll Nazi. You made it to the final table. Congratulations. $11.25 is just great, you know?
Absolutely.
You know, hell,
Absolutely. Yeah.
$11.25 over 2 hours and 30 minutes. Hell, I mean, how long was your horse game?
Yeah, it was a couple, was it like an hour and a half, 2 hours, something like that. So.
Yeah, so for an extra 30 minutes, I got an extra $1.25. You know, it's like, when it comes down to it, you gotta go, fuck it. I'm either gonna play it hard or I'm gonna play it and get out. I know you gave me a good compliment that I was a good horse player, but shit, man. When it comes down to horse, you got to be solid on all 5 games. I mean,
definitely.
Bootsy can tell you my weakness is limit hold'em. Am I right, Boots?
I don't know. I haven't really seen too much of it, but that's pretty much my strong suit is limit hold'em.
So, and for me, Raz is definitely my strong suit. And probably stud high is probably one of my weaker games.
Really? Because anything that involves 5 streets of betting, I could wax the floor with anybody when it's a mixed game. Why? Because I'm so used to playing it. Because that's all I play online.
Cool.
I mean, Bootsy, what do you play when you're playing online?
Pretty much horse.
Yeah.
Horse or limit hold'em.
I mean,
or some Omaha high-low.
Omaha high-low. I love that game.
But you say your strong game is Raz. I mean, to me, that's pretty much an elementary, just pure logic, in my opinion. I mean, that's just the way how I play it.
Yeah, it's pure math.
Yeah, I mean, when somebody's showing, 10-7, guaranteed 10-7, and you got an 8-6, and you're drawing to a better low because you got an 8 perfect, well, duh, what's your odds at pulling a 7, a 6, or a 5, and completing that wheel? Who cares? If I'm going to get free cards, I'm going to get free cards. But, we're not about strategy on the show. We're about fucking the lowest limits. And I think the lowest limits we can get is a free roll. Am I right, guys?
Absolutely.
Yep.
And as Sir Bob puts it, Raz is for grumpy old men. And to be honest with you, I agree with him because I have kicked the shit out of some fucking 60-year-olds like a boss when I was playing that horse tournament down there at Bossier City. It was God, it was the softest field you can ever imagine.
Yeah, so the horse tournament that just recently played at the MGM was pretty soft too, and it was unfortunate that I got unlucky, got a 5th when it played 3 places. It was a very low turnout anyway, so. But I lasted the 2 known pros I saw there, which was Mark Gregorich and David Plastique, or is it Plastic?
Yeah, you're not French, are you?
Nope.
Okay, so that means you butcher the English language and you don't surrender. So I'll go with plastic instead of plastique. I don't know. Let's ask our resident Canadian, the expert on the French. What is it, plastic or plastique?
I think it's plastic.
Plastic? All right. Sir Bob agrees it's plastic. So if we got 100% Canadian backing on there, we'll go with plastic.
All right.
So, Hotshot, what's going on in Canada, man?
Well, actually, yesterday I just played the first live horse tournament that was held in BC. So I'm over here in the suburbs of Vancouver, and they ran their first tournament at one of the local casinos. So I hit it up. They had about around 40 people. Of course, I busted out. Busted out in 7-card stud, but that's life, and it was pretty good.
But when you bust out, the early, mid stage, or late?
Mid stage, just based on the tournament, stats, the blinds getting up and the antes getting up and stuff like that. So not much you can do in the stud rounds. You just got to go with the hand.
And actually, we got a good question live in chat. Are you right now in Canada?
Yes.
Yes, Sir Bob. It is Canada. Trust me. I know. I searched my facts and I did fact checks.
Yeah, I'm in Langley, BC, so that's just a suburb out there.
Yeah, actually, Plastic lives in one of Vic's houses, so that's why I like having Sir Bob, man. He's like the trivia expert. He can tell you anything and everything about anybody at any given time.
Cool. So other stuff going around in Canada. There's lots actually happening. It's definitely it seems like poker's growing here. In the spring, a new casino opened up. Not necessarily a casino. Sorry, the poker room in the casino. What else? We've been getting a WSOP circuit event coming up, and there's another championship poker series also happening in October. So yeah. It's
and aren't two of your ring events going to be online as well?
Yes, there are 2 ring events. Open only, it looks like, to Quebec and BC residents. So it's interesting as well. One's a 360 buy-in, something around there, and the other one's like a 5 or 550.
So you got a 365 and a 580?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah, go figure. You know, I play enough of them circuit events, I know the prices, you know?
There you go, yeah. So it's definitely, it seems busier in the casinos too, like a lot of 1-3 games running, mainly. There's you got the bad beat jackpots going like crazy here. The online one right now, I can actually check it on our Play Now site, is 653,000 for bad beat. So it's pretty crazy.
Really? What was that again? 365,000?
No, 653,000. Bad beat jackpot.
Christ.
Yeah.
Well, is this on Stars?
No, this is on our Play Now. It's the government site, so it's between BC and Quebec. So it's another province, and it's basically it's not the greatest software on the site. It's a Boss Media skin, but yeah, it's a huge jackpot. Actually, a buddy of mine was on one of the tables when one was hit and made a bit of cash on that. I'm not sure how much he made, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, do you play on Stars a lot?
Sorry, say that again.
Do you play on Stars?
Do I play Stars?
Yeah, do you play on Poker Stars?
I play on Stars, and I used to play on Full Tilt. That was like the main side I was on, but now I'm on Stars pretty much all the time.
Hold up, did you just say Full Tilt?
Yeah, I did.
Did you get any of your bankroll back yet?
Supposedly in November.
Yeah, I heard Poker Stars is going to be paying that account out. Are you going to transfer your funds from Full Tilt to Poker Stars, or are you going to stay on Full Tilt?
I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do. I'm definitely going to be pulling some off, but I've got like around $1,000 on there. So yeah, it's, you know, pull off what I can. I might leave a bit on there, just depending on what they're going to run. I've got a bit of money on Stars right now anyway, so it's all good there. Maybe put some on Play Now just because they tend to be running good satellites on there. So like for the circuit events and stuff like that. So I've done a few on there, and it's still pretty soft. Like you get like I guess soft in low fields. So it's not like you're on Stars, you know, competing with like thousands of people. You're on Play Now, and you're playing against maybe 40 or 50 people for a seat. So, and then they usually give cash prizes as well. So that's pretty good.
Now, I got a good question for you. I know you're down there in South Florida. How's the poker scene from Canada to South Florida? And go ahead, throw as many punches as you want towards the Floridians. I don't care.
I didn't play in Florida. I just went down there for a holiday and just chilled out on the beach and stuff like that. So I never actually got to the casinos.
What? You went to Florida and you didn't play any poker?
I didn't.
Oh my God! What's wrong with you, man? Come on, you were in the motherland of people that don't know how to play.
I know. I usually take a couple trips down to Vegas though, so I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna chill out, relax, and not play any, and then play when I come back. So that's pretty much what I did.
And didn't you play a World Series of Poker event this past summer?
I did indeed. I played a 1K. It was my first event. It was interesting. A bit intimidating at first. It was like I was back playing for the first time, sort of thing. I actually had a fairly soft table. Like there's a lot of limping going on. Got a few chips. There was one or two players that I figured were online players. One I found out later was Yuval Bronstein. I don't know if you know him. He had a deep run this year. And then I also had Will Fiala ended up at my table. Him and I were both short stacks, and we were like chatting it up quite a bit. And he was a pretty cool guy. And Charter was at the table as well. So
good old Charter. How's Charter doing?
He was playing good. He wasn't really. He just had his headphones on, doing his business. Yeah, I ended up getting it in Ace Jack versus Kings. Ran into Kings. Not much you can do there. I made it about halfway through the field, so all in all, good experience. And then I ended up playing a super. I guess it was like the Mega Stacks or Super Stacks over at Caesars, and I played a 6 max, and I ended up cashing in that tournament. So it's pretty good. So I made a couple $100 on that tournament.
Yeah, I played in probably 5 or 6 tournaments in Vegas. I think 4 or 5 at the Aria, and one at the I think 4 or 5 at the Aria, and one at the Venetian, and 2 horse, one at the MGM, and one at the M Resort. And I've yet to cash in any of that. So I'll be playing in the or I'm planning on playing. It's not definite yet, but I'll plan on playing in the Venetian Deep Stacks this next February. So hopefully I'll break the schneid.
Oh, and Venetian Deep Stacks, dude, that tournament is nut. You should be kicking some ass there, bro.
Well, it's all about variance.
Yeah, absolutely. I played that one actually the year before. Had a deep run and was just a couple off the bubble, which sucked. But such is life. But it was definitely a good field too.
Well, you know, I gotta ask the question. You played poker live in the States and you play online. What do you prefer?
I like playing live. It's just, you know, like you say, like you get the reads, and I tend to focus better. It just depends on the game. You can get some really soft games. Like right now, the mixed games here are really soft, so it's good playing live. But like if you want fundamentals and just volume and stuff like that, then online's the way to go. Convenience, stuff like that.
All right. So follow up here. Would you actually consider yourself an online stud, meaning you're in that 4% category of online winner, no matter what you do?
I've never I've always been a winner online, so I do decent. I wouldn't say I'm like a great player online. Low stakes, micro stakes, had a good run in the Micro Millions. Finished this year 22nd out of like 20,000, so that was a decent run. And I just grind cash on there, 6 max, stuff like that, and 8 game.
Yeah, be honest with you, I haven't played an 8 game in ages. 7-2 triple draw is down there, right?
Yeah.
Then you got Baduji and Badesi, right?
No, not an 8 game.
Okay.
No.
What do you got for 8 game then?
Yeah, that's right.
All right, so what's on the 8 game then?
You have PLO and No Limit, and Deuce to 7, triple draw, as well as the horse games.
Okay, cool. I'm just trying to remember it.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's been such a long time since I've even seen an 8 game. Like the closest mixed game you can get on Merge is Ho, which that's like a cheap version of a horse because nobody knows how to fucking play stud. Fags.
Yeah, unfortunately, at the Venetian, they used to run a 4-8 horse game that went quite often during the nighttime, but unfortunately, that's been dried up for the past year. So, I remember playing that game about a year and a half ago, and that was a pretty sweet game to play.
Yeah, and you know what? There's another good question here, and this comes from the audience there, Hotshot. Would you recognize your screen name on PokerStars right now if we looked at you? If we looked for you right now,
I would imagine so. Yeah.
Okay, because mine would be like deathly obvious because it's probably Pikachu. I'm just guessing. So if you ever see Pikachu live, that means I moved to Mexico or I moved to Canada. Either or.
Nice.
Which, have you actually seen any U.S. players move out of country and move up towards your area? Or what?
There's actually a lot of players that were playing in this horse tournament that came up from Bellingham, which is probably like the closest city. It's just outside of, like, in between Seattle and Vancouver, kind of. It's just across the border. Yeah, so there was a number of American players that were up here.
Yeah, see, I don't think I can ever say, fuck you, no, I'm leaving. I'll wear a Canadian flag for the rest of my life. I don't know, I was just born here, you know, I'm kind of used to the nuances, and I don't know. I kind of got love for this country, figuring I've served in the Army for how many years now? But, I don't know, you know, I just don't see leaving the country for internet poker. It's not like a big enough, you know, go-getter for me.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'll agree with Sir Bob. Yeah, it's not much different whatsoever. It's just, I don't see leaving for, like, internet poker. And, yes, there's better pots and better people up there.
That's what we're known for up here.
Yeah, and, you know, I used to be up there in Minnesota, and you got me saying, don't you know? And why don't you? You know, I did a lot of work up there on the border, so I can kind of blend in it if I went to Canada and decided to become Canadian.
Cool.
But,
yeah, it's definitely a way, you know, a place to, you know, if you want to visit and stuff like that, to check out. If, like, Vancouver's great as far as poker scene and stuff like that. So summertime is the best time to come up here. And then obviously now they're, you know, with the circuit event and stuff like that. So
I don't know. I'm kind of a sucker for Montreal. I love that, especially when the Formula One was coming through.
True enough. True enough.
But, oh, jeez. I'm trying to think of what else we need to BS about. You got any more questions for him, Boots?
No. I think you pretty much covered Canada quite nicely.
Yeah. I mean, you got anything else for us, or do you want to, like, kind of join us for kicking some dicks in?
Sure, I'll listen in.
All right.
Stay with you guys. Sure.
All right. Well, hey, we're going to drop you for just right now. If you want to hit me up, just send me a PM, and I'll put you right back on the air.
Okay.
All right, brother. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Peace.
See you.
All right.
See you.
So, Bootsy,
mm-hmm.
You love this part. Who deserves a kick in the dick right now? Hold up. Let me intro this. I forgot to intro it like I usually do.
Kick me in the junk. Come on, man. Kick me in the junk. God damn, that's a rush.
So, who deserves the kick in the dick right now?
Let's see. Obviously Howard Leonard from that shitty interview they did.
Yeah. We can keep kicking that motherfucker in the dick every single week. God, let's just kick his company in the dick. Let's talk about full tilt poker, man. Let's get focused on companies this time instead of people. How many times do you have to fuck up before you realize shit's fucked up completely? And the interview kind of gave us a big insight. they were supposed to vote on a board, right? Every year.
I didn't really follow through with the interview, so you got to tell me this.
Okay, well, off the interview, Howie, he got on and he said they were supposed to vote on a board every year. Now, him, Ivy, and Ray, and 2 other people, who the fuck knows, who cares? They were on the original board, with Ray being the CEO, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Ivy dropped because he was too busy. Understandable, right?
Yeah, he has to play his craps.
Yeah, I mean, craps, that's a hard game. I mean, you want to talk about being numbers-wise, you have to be on top of your game 24/7 for craps. I understand it, right? But if you have a board and you start, what year did they start? Was it 2006 or 2007?
Oh, no, that's way back in 2004.
Oh, was it 4?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know about them until their first TV commercial popped on. Maybe that was a good thing. But if they had a board in 2004 and that was their only board election, Black Friday happened in 11?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a few years without having a board. And he was telling people that were other shareholders, well, get enough of a majority and vote us out. Well, if you're not having a vote, how the fuck is he going to vote anybody out?
Good question.
You know, and let's talk about, well, I saw the CFO give me a sheet saying yes, and then we had one that said no, and then I was concerned about player accounts. Bullshit. When you guys made your first disbursement, that was your biggest sign of maybe we bit off too much than we can chew.
Okay.
So, big kick in the dick for anybody that was associated with FTP. Yeah, I understand not a lot of people are guilty on it. Majorly, the major problem was all the CEOs and the boards and the CFO. But to be honest with you, if you had the ability to stop what the hell was going on, and you didn't have that ability, fuck you. You need a kick in the dick. Am I right?
You're right.
So, who else deserves a good kick in the dick?
Let's see, company-wise. Ultimate Bet.
Oh, let's talk about Ultimate Bet and Absolute Poker. 2 of my favorite ones. Just to add another kick into the dick for this company, estimates stated that Sirius lost $10 million to the Black Friday seizures, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which left him with a reported $5 to $6 million in liquid assets, while owing $54 million, right?
Yep.
Even without Black Friday happening, they were nearly $30 million in the hole. So, I mean, how good is that company?
They're pretty good. They're an excellent. I would deposit, if I could, I'd deposit my entire bankroll into that company right now.
All of it?
All of it, of course.
Wow. That's what I'm talking about. Bootsy, you are the man. Because I wouldn't fucking put a dime into Absolute Poker or Ultimate Bet. But, the thing that got me was, guess who walked away from that scot, clear, and free?
Guessing Annie Duke.
Well, yeah, she got away free. Who else do you think got away free?
Russ Hamilton.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the list is long and distinguished, but we're busting FTP's balls, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what about Absolute Poker?
I guess it's Scott Tom a free man?
I think so. I haven't seen anything happen to him.
Well, he's playing somewhere in Costa Rica, sipping on Mai Tais, living the life. And if he could do it, more power to him.
And here's the thing. Here's the quote. Players left holding the empty bag. After all the shit that happened, the players are going to get nothing. Not even a penny to the dollar. Now, some players knew the risk and felt the quality of the games made the poker room worth playing, but $50 million in net losses. You liquefy it, you're only going to get $40 million in net losses. Who's going to make the money? It sure as hell ain't going to be the users. Am I right?
You're correct.
So that's just wow. Who the fuck did not see that coming? 2 of the 3 companies weren't able to do anything, but the one company that I still have a lot of respect for, and I really appreciate, and I actually did enjoy playing on their site, was PokerStars. Now, were they in the wrong? Yeah, but let me tell you something. PokerStars is a great company to have around because they're big enough that they can do whatever it takes. You know, they can sit back, they can sit and talk about this, talk about that, talk about this, and actually execute. Getting your bankroll back. The day after Black Friday, guess how much money I had deposited back in my account?
All of it?
Yep. No.
How much was it?
Yeah, it was only like $25, but I don't really care. It was $25.
Spend all in one place?
Of course. I mean, beer ain't cheap, is it?
Nope.
I think I won that off of a free roll, too. Lo and behold, I'm really good at free rolls. But before we digress, PokerStars came out as the king of the 3. But, you know, another corporation / ideal that really deserves a good kick in the dick, and you know I just can't stand them, but it's the PPA.
Yeah.
Because they got that mentality of any legislation is good legislation. And I wish I can get Steve Ruddick on the air right now, so that way he can come in here and just like crush my balls about the PPA, because I know he has a little bit of information about the PPA, but when it comes down to it,
well, he is in the chat.
Oh, he is. I didn't notice that. Well, how about you distract him for a second and tell him to call in, because that's how we're going to get him the free roll password.
Okay.
See if he'll call in. Who knows? But back onto my rant. The PPA's existence since 2005. They've been basically sponsored by Full Tilt and PokerStars for a long time. And, well, he has the kids running around, and his wife's not at home. I feel for him. He may not be able to call. But his stuff on the PPA, it's just crazy. I mean, what's your take on it?
Oh, just the PPA or just a bunch of idiots. You got, what, Andy Duke and Howard Lederer were one time, I don't know if there still are, but they were definitely part of the PPA at one point. Who else was on there? I think Ferguson was on there. Pretty much like the entire Full Tilt board was on the PPA, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and back in 2009, 2010, they were getting about $4 million in donations from both companies. And that's combined. And with $4 million, they couldn't even get anything accomplished. So, yes, they did start the PAC, which they had to do anyway, and start trying to fund candidates that would be pro-poker, which is, you know, I hate to say it, the American way when it comes down to all this stuff. But when it came down to it, their record is 0 and 5,836, or so it seems, because even the legislation that they try to back is not even working. It can't even pass. I mean, have you noticed the same thing?
Well, I mean, if the PPA was good, then we wouldn't have had Black Friday, in my opinion.
Well, I think Black Friday was going to happen no matter what. And, I mean, we can kick the DOJ in the nuts, too. I really don't care. But, to be honest with you, Black Friday had to happen because there was zero accountability. And Black Friday exposed 2 companies for what they were.
Well, we knew about one of them, which was the Ultimate Bet.
Yeah, well, we knew about it, but it wasn't focused. It wasn't the #1 news story going on because it was kind of in the background. It was sort of like the Korean War. Everybody kind of knew there was a war going on, but everybody forgot about it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes down to it, now you see it, and it's, why didn't we stop this earlier? Imagine if Black Friday hit in 2010 or 2009. Would we have had the same effects unless it happened in 2011?
I don't know. I mean, it's a good question. I think that there would have been a lot more. Obviously, poker was bigger back then, so yeah, I think it would have been a bigger detriment if it happened earlier than later.
Yeah, but here's the thing: there was legislation out there for a 16-month hiatus on internet poker, and with that 16-month hiatus, we would have been back to internet poker. Yeah, it would have been Harrah's and Caesars, but it would have been regulated U.S. iPoker. Not a problem. You see what I'm saying? Now we're still in a fucking scenario where we gotta figure out a way to pay black chip, either via, what do we got now? We can't use Visa, we can't use MasterCard, we can't use e-checks.
You can't use now you can't use the Green Dot money packs anymore.
Yeah, money pack is no good. What else can we not use? Cash in an envelope, we can't use that.
You can't really use Western Union because they'll end up going back at you.
I did use Western Union. I just had to tell them a good lullaby. So I got through Western Union once. I don't think I'm going to get through Western Union a second time. But when it comes down to it, what else is left?
There's no Fire Pay, which was what I used way back when.
NetTeller went down too. Don't forget that.
Yep.
What the fuck is left? Shit coins? I mean, do we have to go in there and start buying shit coins? And yes, Hotshot, I just hit it with the shit coins. I love. We could use Kroner, Cougarins. How about bologna and cheese sandwiches? I mean, how are we gonna pay for internet poker now?
Let me go back to my blackjack. I actually had to launch the client here, and then we go to cashier. My balance is at still 0.0 for the past 2 or 3 months. And let's see, go to deposits. Come on, this site's slow. We have click to pay and quick pay. And I don't know if any of these click to pay or quick pay would even work for.
You gotta have a friend in Europe for it.
On both?
Yeah, pretty much.
Alright. Well,
Hotshot,
or maybe I could.
Hotshot's saying rubles. Rubles are a hot commodity. Believe it or not, Swiss bank accounts, you can get those no matter what. But getting the wires from your Swiss bank account into click to pay, that would be a pain in the ass.
Or maybe I have to hit up one of our other members on our sites that could do a swap for PayPal to black chip. But if I was one of those guys, I'd charge a steep price.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. You got to do PayPal or cash in an envelope to one of your friends who happens to live in Canada, Mexico, Mother Russia, wherever, right? So that way you can get black chip poker money, and even then, you can't redeem a code to get a rake back, but yet they can. I hate it, but you know what? Whatever, you know?
Yeah. I wonder if Carbon, our hero, has the same issue.
I'm pretty sure it's across the entire Merge network. I mean, just because one skin says you can't do it, pretty much all the skins are in agreement.
Now, how about America's Card Room?
No, with that one, I've heard that you can Western Union in and the Western Union out. So it would be nice, you can actually get the money. But when it comes down to it, people are going to look at you going, well, why are you getting money out of the Bahamas? Or why are you getting money out of China or Singapore or wherever the hell I wired it last time? People would be like, do you mind explaining this? It's just one of those odd things. I don't know. What's your take on it?
Well, I never been to a Western Union in my life before, and it's a trend that I'm hoping that continues. Because nothing ever good happens at a Western Union.
See, I go to the ones that are attached to like grocery stores and shit like that, so that way I don't have to worry about getting gunned down in the parking lot. I don't know, that's just my take on it.
Hey, Steve says he had a friend that got busted for drugs, and they added a charge for Western Union transfers to online poker rooms.
No, that's poker rooms, not poker rooms. So there might be something different in that one. I don't know.
Yeah.
We just got to nail Steve because he usually gets us on vocabulary every once in a while.
He's a vocabulary Nazi.
Bootsy and I have learned. I am a learned man. Bootsy and I.
And yeah. Let's see. How about let's go way back in the time machine. How about Poker Spot?
Ooh, Poker Spot. This is kind of before I popped my internet poker cherry, so I'm gonna leave you on this one because I don't know much about it.
Well, that's the same thing too. All thing I just know about it that Dutch Boyd rolled all of us, and that's pretty much end of story right there.
Well, Dutch Boyd leading us is either a good thing or a bad thing, you know?
Yeah. I have no idea what he's doing now. I don't think was he even at the World Series of Poker this year, or is he too broke?
I don't know, man. I really don't know.
But yeah, he definitely needs to get a good kick in the dick here shortly.
Yeah, and you know, we savor the flavor when we kick people in the junk. But is there any other company you want to kick in the dick?
Let's see, company.
Hell, it can be a group of people.
How about the Scientologists?
Why not? Let's kick them in the dick. Why are we kicking them in the dick today?
They're just a bunch of weirdos and freaks out there. Just the whole entire Scientology concept is pretty
out there.
Yeah. And you just need to take a look at Tom Cruise and apparently the Johnny whatever his last name, who jumped out the window after killing his elderly landlady. His father tried to get him into Scientology to help his drug addiction, and that seemed to work well, didn't it?
Yeah. Actually, Steve just posted something, and we're going to hit this. Online poker and cheating. Internet poker's first black eye. Poker Spot absconds with 40,000. And this is about Dutch Boyd's deep run of the 2003 WSOP when he was leading the flock. But president and co-founder of Poker Spot, which operated from May 2000 to late 2001. Wow, that must have been a really deep run. What, 16 months? 17 tops? Ceased operations after a number of players were not reimbursed to the tune of $40,000. Come on, 40,000? Shit, at least steal $1 million. He's not even worth a kick in the dick right now.
Well, they could pay those players back with I forgot how much he cashed in that World Series, but he used that to he placed 12 for 80,000, so he could have paid half that money to pay back those players.
Yeah, he placed 12th in that tournament, earning 80,000. So he said if he won it, he was going to pay back all the players. But Poker Spot should have taught us to be wary of these sites. But Poker Spot happened. What else happened?
What else happened? I trying to think. I don't know. There's some other weird, crappy sites that came and gone.
You know, we can sit back and think about it, but when it comes down to it, every time I hear about another internet poker site, this is exactly what I think of.
I don't have all the facts. I don't know. Nope. I just don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. Do you know?
I'm just speculating now, so I just don't,
I mean, do you get it?
So I don't know.
Do you know?
Yeah, I'm with Howard there.
I just don't know.
I don't even know when.
God, I love the soundtrack.
I don't know.
Does anybody know?
I don't know.
Does anybody know?
I don't know. But I don't know.
Are you sure you don't know?
I have no
There's this one time at the party.
I remember one time at a party.
God, man, you got perfect timing for the soundtrack. I love it. But when it comes down to it, I mean, to be honest with you, so many iPoker sites need to get kicked in the dick, but we don't have enough time to kick everybody in the dick. Am I right?
No, we could kick so many people in 1 week.
Yeah, I mean, we got to come up with a good list. I'll get the webpage up for kicking dicks in. We'll take requests. I mean, that might be the only form that I actually put out an email address, so that way you can sit back and we can get back and start kicking people in the dicks. But when it comes down to it, to be honest with you, it's not really worth it, man.
So maybe next week we could kick Halliburton in the dick.
Yeah, why not? I mean, all is fair in love and war, right?
Yeah. Of course, Dick Cheney will probably have a heart attack before we could actually have the opportunity to kick his dick in.
Well, on that note, man, just want to let you know it's getting to that time, brother. So, you got anything for a closing remark?
No. Just hope to get out here in the near future, play some cards, but I don't know. Like Howard said, I don't know.
And I'll agree with Hotshot. Definitely a good kick in the dick belongs to what he just typed in there, because we don't have government ran and regulated internet poker yet. So, yeah, fuck it. We can kick them next week. You in for that?
Yep.
Yeah.
We could kick Bitcoins in too.
Ooh, good Bitcoin dick kicking is deserving, especially if it involves some e-cigs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm Pika.
And I'm Bootsy.
And we're going to say peace. Thank you for listening to episode number 8 of Low Limit Poker Radio. Bye.
Bye.